Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another Temple 420 Bible study. I am Brother Chapin Walton, and I'm here to talk to you some more about the Bible, bring some Bible verses. And I also put out the link. We'll see who shows up today. I'll start today off with the kitty kitty. Well, the kitty kitty. I think you should start off with me. You don't want picked up, see? But it doesn't want picked up. Dear Almighty God, thank you for the blessings you give us. Thank you for giving us your word and bringing us together to read your word and bringing those people who come and seek out your word and hear your word. May they be acknowledged into what there is in your word and want to seek you out further. Thank you for all you do for us and keeping us safe. And help bless those out there who need comfort and help them trust in you and help guide them the ways they need to go. Amen. Come back on that. Add the stage here. I think anybody can see on that. There we go. Doesn't look too bad here. Trying out a new little place to put my face in. We last time spoke Leviticus 15, so we're back on Leviticus 16, the Day of Atonement. Leviticus 16, 1. Adonai spoke with Moses after the death. Let me get back to spoke to Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron. And then when they had gone near the master Yahuwah and died, the master Yahuwah said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and your brother, and tell him not to come just any time into the set apart holy place inside the curtain before the atonement lid is on the ark. If he does, he will die, because I appear in the cloud over the atonement lid." So here's how Aaron must come into the set apart holy place. He must enter with a young bull as a sin offering and a ram as a burnt offering. He must put on the set apart linen tunic, and he must put on the linen garments on himself, and he must wear the linen slash and linen turban. These are the set apart holy garments, and he must bathe his body in water and dress himself with these clothes. He must take from the assembly of the people of Israel 2 male goats as a sin offering and as a burnt offering. There's the kitty kitty. Then Aaron must present the bull as a sin offering, which will be for himself to make atonement for him and his family. He must take the 2 goats and set them before the master Yahuwah, and the other lot for the scapegoat. Aaron must then present the goat on which lot and Aaron must present the goat on which lot fell for the master Yahuwah, and offer the goat as a sin offering. But the goat which lot fell on the scapegoat must be brought alive before the master Yahuwah to make atonement by sending him away as the scapegoat into the wilderness. Then Aaron must present the bull for the sin offering, which will be for himself, which he must make atonement for himself and his family. So he must kill the bull as a sin offering to himself. Like me, small there, but where did I skip my thing? There we go. Aaron must then present the goat on which the lot fell for the master Yahuwah and offer the goat as a sin offering. But the goat on which fell For the scapegoat must be brought alive before the Master Yahuwah to make atonement by sending him away as a scapegoat into the wilderness. Oops, I jumped forward back. Guess better back than forward. Then Aaron must present the bull for a sin offering, which will be for himself. He must make atonement for himself and his family, so he must kill the bull as a sin offering for himself. Aaron must take a censer of full coals from the fire off the altar before the Master Yahuwah, with his hands full of finely ground incense, and bring these things inside the curtain. He must put the incense on the fire before the Master Yahuwah, so that the cloud from the incense may cover over the atonement lid and the covenant decrees. He must do so he will not die. He will take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it on his finger on the front of the atonement lid. He must sprinkle some of the blood with his finger 7 times before the atonement lid. Then he must kill the goat for the sin offering that is for the people and bring its blood inside the curtain. He must do with the blood as he did for the blood of the bull. He must sprinkle it on the atonement lid, then before the atonement lid. He must make atonement for the set-apart holy place because of the unclean actions of the people of Israel, because of their rebellion and all of their sins. He must do this for the tent of meeting, where the Master Yahuwah lives among them. In the presence of their unclean actions, no one must be in the tent of meeting when Aaron enters to make atonement for the most holy place until he comes out and is finished making the atonement for himself and his family and all of Israel. He must go out before the altar that is before the Master Yahuwah and make atonement for it. He must take some of the bull's blood and some of the goat's blood and put it on the horns of the altar all around. He must sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times and cleanse it to be set apart to the Master Yahuwah, away from the unclean actions of the people of Israel. When he has finished atoning for the most set apart holy place and the tent of meeting and the altar, he must present the live goat. Aaron must lay his hands on the head of the live goat and confess over him the wickedness of the people of Israel and their rebellion of sins. He must put that sinfulness on the head of the goat and send away in the care of a man who is ready to lead the goat into the wilderness. He must carry himself and all the people's wilderness into a solitary place. There in the wilderness, the man must let the goat go free. Then Aaron must go back into the tent of meeting and take off the linen garments that he had put on before going into the set apart holy place. And he must leave those garments there. He must bathe his body in water in the holy set apart place and put on his normal garments. Then he must go out and offer his burnt offering and a burnt offering for the people. In this way, make atonement for himself and the people. He must burn the fat of the sin offering on the altar. The man who let the scapegoat free must wash his clothes and bathe his body. After that, he may come back into the camp. The bull for the sin offering and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the set apart place, must be carried outside the camp. They must burn their hides, flesh, and dung. The man who burns those parts must wash his clothes and bathe his body in water. After that, he may come back into the camp. There will always be a statute for you that in the 7th month, the 10th day of the month, you must humble yourselves and do no work, whether native born or foreigner who is among you. This is because this is the day of atonement will be made for you, to cleanse you from all your sins, so that you'll be clean before the Master Yahuwah. It is a solemn Sabbath rest for you, and you must humble yourself and do no work. This will always be a statute among you. The high priest, the one who will be anointed and ordained the high priest in his father's place, he must make atonement and put on linen garments, that is, in the set apart holy garments. He must make atonement for the most set apart holy place, and he may must make atonement for the tent of the meeting and for the altar. He must make atonement for the priests and all the people of the assembly. This will always be the statute for you. For you must make atonement for the people of Israel because of their sins once in every year. This was done as the Master Yahuwah commanded Moses. The place of sacrifice. The Master Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and his sons and all the people of Israel. Tell them that the Master Yahuwah has commanded. Any man from Israel who kills an ox, a lamb, or a goat in the camp, or kills it outside the camp in order to sacrifice it, if he does not bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting to offer it as a sacrifice to the Master Yahuwah before his tabernacle, that man is guilty of bloodshed. He has shed blood, and that man must be cut off among his people." The purpose of this command is so that the people of Israel bring their sacrifices to the Master Yahuwah at the entrance of the tent of meeting, to the priest to be sacrificed as a fellowship offering to the Master Yahuwah, instead of offering sacrifices in an open field. The priest will sprinkle the blood on the Master Yahuwah's altar at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, and he will burn the fat, for it produces a sweet smell for the Master Yahuwah. The people must no longer offer their sacrifice to goats, for they will act as prostitutes. This will be a permanent statute, therefore, they're in their people's generations. You must say to them, any man of Israel, any foreigner who lives among them, who offers a burnt offering or a sacrifice, and does not bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting in order to sacrifice it to the Master Yahuwah, that man must be cut off from his people. The laws against eating blood. If any person of the house of Israel or any foreigner who lives among them consumes any blood, I will set my face against that person who consumes blood, and I will cut him off from among his people. The life of an animal is in its blood. I have given you its blood to make atonement on the altars for your lives, because it is the blood that makes atonement, for it is the blood that atones for life. Therefore, it is said to the people of Israel that no one among you must eat the blood, neither may any foreigner who lives among you eat blood. Any one of the people of Israel or any foreigners who live among you who hunts and kills an animal or a bird that must be eaten, that person must pour out his blood and cover the blood with earth. For the life of each creature is its blood. That is why I say to the people of Israel, you must not eat the blood of any creature, for the life of every creature is its blood. Whoever eats it must be cut off. Every person who eats an animal that has died or has been torn by wild animals, whether it's that person is a native born or a foreigner living among you, he must wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and he will be unclean until morning. Then he will be clean, but if he does not wash his clothes or bathe his body, he must carry his guilt.
All right, let me
jump cut there, and we picked up Craig.
All right, well, okay. Hold on. I've got another call
thing.
that I need to take for the oil business.
Sure thing.
All right. Just going to jump off, and you just go back to doing what you're doing. Hi, everyone. Craig here, but I'm going to go. Listen, God bless you, man. I'm glad that we got to chat for a little bit, but let me go try and take care of this oil business.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, bye. All right, bye.
For a quick moment there. Now we're back here to Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18, the unlawful sexual relations. The Master Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the people of Israel and say, the Master Yahuwah, I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. You must not do the things that the people in Egypt where you lived previously. Not do the things that the people do in Egypt where you lived previously. You must not do the things that the people do in Canaan, to the land to which I'm taking you. Do not follow their customs. My Torah, laws and instructions are what you must do. And my commandments, they are what you must keep so that you walk in them, because I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. Therefore, you must keep my degrees, my Torah, which is the law and the instructions. If the person obeys them, he will live because of them. I am the Master Yahuwah. That's one of the important things that I bring up too, that God does these laws and sets these laws forth. So if a person obeys, he will live because of them. So they're, to me, things of wisdom, things that help you do better in life and avoid death, disease, bad natures, bad things that could come about for doing these various things. No one must sleep with anyone whom he is closely related. I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not dishonor your father by sleeping with your mother. She is your mother. Do not dishonor her. Do not sleep with any of your father's wives. You must not dishonor your father like that. Do not sleep with your sisters, any sisters of yours, whether she is the daughter of your father or the daughter of your mother. Whether she was raised at your home or distant from you, you must not sleep with your sisters. Do not sleep with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. That would be your own shame. Do not sleep with your father's daughter who was born of your father. She is your sister, and you must not sleep with her. Do not sleep with your father's sister. She is a close relative of your father. Do not sleep with your mother's sister. She is a close relative to your mother. Do not dishonor the brother of your father by sleeping with his wife. Do not go near her for that purpose. She is your aunt. Do not sleep with your daughter-in-law, for she is your son's wife. Do not sleep with her. Do not sleep with your brother's wife. Do not dishonor him in this way. Do not sleep with a woman and her daughter, do not sleep with a woman and her daughter, or with her son's daughter, or with her daughter's daughter. They are close relatives to her, and sleeping with them would be wicked. You must not marry your wife's sister or the second wife and sleep with her while your first wife is alive. Do not sleep with a woman during her menstruation. She is unclean at that time. Do not sleep with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself in this way. You must not give any of your children to put them into the fire so that you sacrifice them to Moloch, because you must not profane the name of Elohim. I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not sleep with other men as a woman. This would be wicked. Do not sleep with any animal and defile yourself with it. No woman must consider sleeping with an animal. This would be perversion. Do not defile yourself in any of these ways, for these are all the ways the nations are defiled, the nations that I will drive out from before you. The land become defiled, so I punished their sin. And in the land vomited out its inhabitants. You, therefore, must keep my commandments and decrees. You must not do any of these detestable things. Neither shall the native-born Israelite or the foreigner who lives among you. For this is wickedness that the people in the land have committed. Those who have lived here before you, and now the land is defiled. Therefore, be careful, so that the land does not vomit you up after you've defiled it, as vomiting out the people who were before you. Whoever does any of these detestable things, the person who will do detestable things will be cut off among their people. Therefore, you must keep my command and not practice any of these detestable customs which were practiced before you, so that you do not defile yourselves by them. I am the Master Yahuwah, Elohim, your Elohim. The Lord is holy. The Master Yahuwah spoke with Moses, saying, speak all the assembly of the people of Israel and say, you are to be set apart and holy, for I, the Master Yahuwah, is your Elohim, and I am set apart and holy. Everyone must respect his father and mother. You must keep my Sabbaths. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. Do not turn to worthless idols. Do not make yourselves Elohim out of metal. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. When you offer sacrifice of fellowship offering to the Master Yahuwah, you must offer it, and that you will be accepted. It must be eaten the same day you offer it, or on the next day. If anything remains to the third day, it must be burned. If it is eaten on the third day, it is defiled, and it must not be accepted. But everyone who eats it must carry his own guilt, because he has dishonored what was holy to the Master Yahuwah. That person must be cut off from his people. When you reap the harvest of your land, you must not completely reap the corners of your field, and neither will you gather all the produce of your harvest. You must not gather every grape from your vineyard, nor gather the grapes that have fallen on the ground in your vineyard. You must leave them for the poor and for the foreigner. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. Do not steal, do not lie, and do not deceive each other. Do not swear by my name falsely and profane the name of Elohim. I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not oppress your neighbor or rob him. The wages of a hired servant must not stay with you all night until morning. Do not curse the death, or put a stumbling stone block before the blind. Instead, you must fear the Elohim, for I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not cause judgment to be false. You must not show favoritism to someone because he is poor, and you must not show favoritism because he is important. Instead, judge your neighbor righteously. It's one of the important things that I ran across when we were in Parsha a bit back that was pointed out there, is that you should be respectful and judge when you're judging poor just as the same as you would judge somebody who is famous or important or rich. Both judge them properly and righteously. Do not walk around spreading false gossip among your people, but seek to protect your neighbor's life. I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not hate your brother in your heart. You must honestly rebuke your neighbor so as not to share in sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or hold any grudge against any of your people, but instead love your neighbors as yourself, as I am the Master Yahuwah. You shall keep my statutes. Leviticus 19:19. You must keep my commands. Do not try to breed your animals with different kinds of other animals. Do not mix different kinds of seeds when planting your field. Do not wear clothing of two kinds of materials mixed together. Whomever sleeps with a slave girl who is promised to a husband, but she has not been ransomed or given her freedom, they must be punished. They must be put to death because she was not free. A man must bring his guilt offerings to the Master Yahuwah to the entrance of the tent of meeting. A ram is a guilt offering, and then the priest must take atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before the Master Yahuwah for the sin that was committed, and the sin that was committed will be forgiven. When you come into the land that you have planted all kinds of trees, and I have planted all kinds of trees for your food, then you must regard the fruit as they produce as it's forbidden to be eaten. The fruit must be forbidden for you for 3 years. It must not be eaten. But on the 4th year, all fruit will be set apart, holy, for an offering of praise to the Master Yahuwah. In the 5th year, you may eat the fruit, having waited so that the trees may produce more. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. Do not eat any meat with blood still in it. Do not consult spirits about the future, and do not seek to control others by supernatural powers. Do not follow pagan habits such as shaving the sides of your head or cutting off the edges of your beard. Do not cut your body for the dead or put tattoo marks on your body, for I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not disgrace your daughter by making her into a prostitute, or the nation will fall to prostitution and the land will become full of wickedness. You must keep my Sabbaths and honor my sanctuary of the tabernacle. I am the Master Yahuwah. Do not turn to those who talk to the dead or with spirits. Do not seek them out, or they will defile you. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. You must rise ahead before the gray-headed person and honor the presence of an old man. You must fear your Elohim, as I am the Master Yahuwah. If a foreigner lives among you in your land, you must not do him any wrong. The foreigner lives with you must be able to be like a native-born Israelite who lives among you, and you must love him as yourself, because you are foreigners in the land of Egypt. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. Leviticus 19:35. Do not use false measures when measuring length, weight, or quantity. You must use just scales, just weights, as a just ephah and a just hin. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You must obey all my decrees and all my Torah and do them. I am the Master Yahuwah. Too bad. We can do 20, and then we'll go to the New Testament. Punishment for child sacrifices. The Master Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, "Save the people of Israel. Anyone among the people of Israel, or any foreigner who lives among Israel, so give any of his children to Moloch, they must certainly be put to death. The people of the land must stone him with stones. I also will set my face apart against the man and cut him off from among his people, because he has given his child to Moloch, so to defile my set apart holy place and profane my set apart holy name. If the people of the land close their eyes to that man when he gives any of his children of Moloch, if they do not put him to death, then I myself will set my face against the man, and I will cut him off from anyone else who prostitutes. I will cut him off and everyone else who prostitutes himself in order to play the harlot with Moloch. The person who turns to those who walk with the dead, or those who walk with the spirits to prostitute themselves with them, I will set my face against that person. I will cut him off from his people. Therefore, consecrate yourselves and be set apart holy, because I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim. You must keep my commands and carry them out. I am the Master Yahuwah who sets you apart holy. Everyone who curses his father must be surely put to death. You must keep my commands and carry them out. I am the Master Yahuwah who sets you apart as holy. Everyone who curses his father or his mother must surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother. He is guilty and deserves to die. Punishments for sexual immorality. The man who commits adultery with another man's wife, that is, anyone who commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress, must certainly be put to death. The man who lies down with his father's wife to sleep with her has disgraced his own father. Both the son and his father's wife must certainly be put to death, as they are guilty and deserve to die. If a man sleeps with his daughter in Torah, both of them must be put to death, as they committed perversion. They are guilty and deserves to die. If a man sleeps with another man as a woman, both of them have been done something detestable, and they must be put to death, as they are guilty and deserve to die. If a man marries a woman and also marries his mother, this is wickedness. They must be burned, both him and the women, so there's no wickedness among you. If a man sleeps with an animal, he must be surely put to death, and you must kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal to sleep with it, you must kill the woman and the animal. They must be certainly put to death. They are guilty and deserve to die. If a man sleeps with his sister, either his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, if he sleeps with her and then she sleeps with him, this is a shameful thing. They must be cut off from the presence of their people, because he has slept with a sister. He must carry his guilt. If a man sleeps with a woman during her menstrual period and has slept with her, he has uncovered the flow of her blood, the source of her blood. Both the man and the woman must be cut off from their people. You must not sleep with your mother's sister or your father's sister, because that would disgrace your close relative. You must carry your own guilt. If a man sleeps with his aunt, he has dishonored his uncle. When they die, I will punish both of them, and when they die, I will take away his inheritance, so his children may not receive them from their parents. If a man marries his brother's wife while his brother is still living, then that is disgraceful. He has dishonored his brother, and I will take away their children and any property they have inherited from their parents. You shall be holy. You must therefore keep my statutes and all my decrees. You must obey them, so that the land in which I bring you will not vomit you up. You must not walk in the customs of the nations that I will drive out before you, for they have done these things, and I detest them. I have said to you, you will inherit the land. I will give it to you as you possess, the land filling with milk and honey. I am the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim, who has separated you from the other peoples. Therefore, you must distinguish before the clean animals and the unclean, and between the unclean birds and the clean. You must not defile yourself with unclean animals or birds, or with any creature that crawls along the ground, which I have separated as unclean from you. You must be set apart holy, for I am the Master Yahuwah, and I am set apart holy, and I have separated you from the other peoples, for you belong to me. A man or woman who talks with the dead or talks with spirits must be certainly put to death. The person must stone them with stones, as they are guilty to die. We'll jump to Matthew 10 and resume back from Matthew 10, where we were prior, back to where Jesus Christ is giving good word. Matthew 10:1. Yeshua called his 12 disciples together and gave them authority over clean spirits to drive them out and to heal all kinds of disease and all kinds of sickness. Now the names of the 12 apostles were these: the first, Simon, who is also called Peter, and Andrew and his brother, James, son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, and Simon the zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who would betray him. Jesus sends out the 12 disciples. These 12 Yeshua sent out. He instructed them, do not go any place where the Gentiles live, and do not enter into any town of the Samaritans. I guess we actually went to 11 last time. I was going to say that sounds really familiar here. Jump, where it says to 12. I just didn't see that there. Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. That's interesting too. We're back to matching up because we were just talking about the Sabbath and the Day of Atonement. At that time, Yeshua went on the Sabbath day to the grain fields. His disciples were hungry and began to pluck grains of the heads of grains and eat them. But when the Pharisees saw him, they said to Yeshua, see, your disciples do what is unlawful to do on the Sabbath. But Yeshua said to them, have you ever read what David did when he was hungry and the men who were with him? He went into the house of Elohim and ate the bread of their presence, which was unlawful for him to eat, and unlawful for those who were with him, but lawful for only the priests. Have you not read in the Torah that on the Sabbath the priests of the temple shall profane the Sabbath, but are guiltless? But I say to you that one who is greater than the temple is here. You have not known what I meant. I desire mercy and sacrifice. You would have not condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is the master of the Sabbath. A man with a withered hand. Then Yeshua left there and went to the synagogue. Behold, there was a man with a withered hand. The Pharisees asked Yeshua, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? So they may accuse him of sinning. Then Yeshua said to them, what man would be there among you, who if he had just one sheep And if a sheep fell into a deep hole on the Sabbath, would he not grasp it and let it out, a hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a man than a sheep? Therefore, is it lawful to do good only on the Sabbath? Then Yeshua said, stretch out your hand. He stretched it out, and it was restored to health, just like the other hand. But the Pharisees went out and plotted against him. They were seeking on how they may put him to death. As Yeshua perceived this, he withdrew from there. Many people followed him and healed them all. He had not commanded them to make known to others, that it may come true what had been said through Isaiah the prophet, saying, see my servant whom I'm judged, my beloved one. And my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and I will announce judgment to the Gentiles. He will not strive nor cry out loud, neither will anyone hear his voice in the streets. He will not break any bruised reed. He will not quench any smoking flax, until he leads justice to victory, and his name in the Gentiles will have a certain hope. Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. Then someone blind and mute, possessed by a demon, was brought to Yeshua. He healed him, and the result, the mute man spoke, and he saw him. All the crowds were amazed and said, can this be the man be the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard of this miracle, they said, this man does not cast out demons except for by Beelzebub, the prince of the demons. But Yeshua knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is made desolate, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How will his kingdom stand? And if I drive out demons by Beelzebub, whom will your sons drive them out? For this is the reason they will be your judges. But I will drive out demons by the Ruach of the Elohim. Then the kingdom of Elohim is coming to you. But how can anyone enter into the house of the strong man and steal his belongings without tying up the strong man first? Then he will steal his belongings from his house. The one who is not with me is against me, and the one who does not gather with me scatters. Therefore, I say to you, every sin and every blasphemy will be forgiven men, but blasphemy against the Ruach will not be forgiven. Whoever speaks any word against the Son of Man, that'll be forgiven for him. But whoever speaks against the Ruach Hudesh, that'll not be forgiven him, neither in this world nor in that one that is to come. A tree is known by its fruit. Make a tree good, and by its fruit good, or make the tree bad, and its fruit bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruit. Your offspring of vipers, since you are evil, how can you say good things? For out of abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The good man from the good treasure of his heart produces what is good, and the evil man from the evil treasure of his heart produces what is evil. I say to you, in the day of judgment, people will be given account for every idle word they have said. For you by your words will be justified, and your words you will be condemned. The sign of Jonah. When certain scribes and the Pharisees answered Yeshua, they said, Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you. But then Yeshua said to them, an evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given, except for the sign of Jonah the prophet. For Jonah was in 3 days and 3 nights in the stomach of the big fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh will stand up at the judgment with this generation of people, and will condemn it. For they repented through the preaching of Jonah, and see, someone greater than Jonah is here. The queen of the south will raise up at the judgment with the men of the generation and condemn it. She came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and see, someone greater than Solomon is here. Return of an unclean spirit. When an unclean spirit has gone away from a man, it passes through waterless places and looks for rest, but does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house which came. Having returned, it found that house swept out and put in order. Then it goes and takes along with it 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they all come to live there. The final condition of that man becomes worse than the first, and it'll be like that which is this evil generation. Jesus' mother and brothers. While Yeshua was speaking to the crowd, behold, his mother and brothers stood outside seeking to speak to him. Someone said to him, look, your mother and brothers stand outside seeking to speak with you. But Yeshua answered and said to him, who told him, who is my mother and who are my brothers? Then he stretched out his hand towards the disciples and said, see, here are my mother and brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven, that person is my brother and my sister and my mother. The parable of the sower. On that day, Yeshua went out of the house and sat beside the sea. A very large crowd gathered along him. So he got into the boat and sat in it, while the crowd stood on the beach. Then Yeshua said many things to them in parables. He said, behold, a farmer went out to sow seed. As he sowed, some of the seeds fell on the road, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, but they did not have much soil. Immediately they sprung up because the soil had no depth. But then when the sun had risen, they were scorched because they had no root, and they withered away. Other seeds fell among those thorn plants, and the thorn plants grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell upon good soil and produced grain, some 100 times as much, some 60, and some 30. He who has ears, let him listen. The purpose of the parables. The disciples came up and said to Yeshua, why do you talk to the crowd in parables? Yeshua said to them, you have been given the privilege of understanding the mysteries of heaven, but to them it is not given, because whoever has, even more will be given. For whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. This is why I talk to them in parables. Though they are seeing, they do not see, and though they are hearing, they do not hear or understand. To them, the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled, that which says, while hearing you will hear, but you will in no way understand, while seeing what you see, but you will in no way perceive. For this is the people's hearts have become dull, and their hard of hearing, and they have closed their eyes, so they do not see with their eyes, or hear with their ears, or understand with their hearts. So they will turn again, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Truly I say to you that many prophets and righteous men desired to see the things that you see, and did not see them. They desired to hear the things that you hear, and do not hear them. The parable of the sower explained. Listen then to the parable of the farmer who sowed his seed. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom but does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is the seed that was sown beside the road. What is sown on rocky ground is the person who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. But he has no roots in himself and endures for a while, but when tribulation or persecution comes away because of the word, he quickly falls away. What was sown among the thorn plants, this is the person who hears the word, but the cares of the world and deceitfulness of the riches choke the world, and he becomes unfruitful. What was sown on good soil, this is the person who hears the word and understands it, and he bears much fruit and makes a crop, yielding 100 times much more than was planted, some 60, some 30 as much. The parable of the wheat. Yeshua presented another parable to them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seeds in his field. But when he slept, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and then went away. Then the blades sprouted and produced their crop. Then the weeds appeared also. The servant of the land came over and said, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How does it now have weeds? He said to them, The enemy has done this. The servant said to him, Do you want us to go and pull them out? The landowner said, No, because while you're pulling out the weeds, you might uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow until the harvest, so that the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, First pull the weeds and tie them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat in my barn. The mustard seed and the leaven. Then Yeshua presented another parable to them. He said, The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sown in his field. The seed is indeed the smallest of other seeds, but it is grown, it is greater in the garden than the plants. It becomes a tree, so the birds of the air can come nest in its branches. Then he told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a yeast. A woman took and mixed with 3 measures of flour until all the dough had risen. Prophecy in the parables. All these things Yeshua said in parables. He said nothing to them without a parable. It was in order that this had been said to the prophet that might come true, when he said, I will open my mouth in parables, and I will say things that were hidden from the foundation of the world. Then Yeshua left the field and the crowds and went into the house, and his disciples came with him. Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the fields. And Yeshua said, He who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed, these are the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest of the world and the reapers are the angels. Therefore, as the weeds are gathered up and burned in fire, so it'll be at the end of the world. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all the things that cause sin and those who commit iniquity. They will be thrown into the furnace of fire, there where there'll be weeping and grinding of teeth, and then there'll be righteous people shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He has ears, let them listen. Parable of the hidden treasure. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in the field. A man found it and hid it. In his joy he goes and sells everything and buys that field. The parable of the great pearl of great value. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who is a merchant looking for valuable pearls. When he found one pearl of great value, he went and sold everything so that he possessed and bought it. Again, a parable of a net. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net which was cast into the sea and gathered the creatures of every kind. When it was filled, the fishermen drew it up on the beach, and they sat down and gathered the things into containers. But the worthless things they threw away. This will be the way at the end of the world. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteousness. They will throw them into the furnace of the fire, where there'll be weeping and grinding of teeth. New and old treasure. Have you understood all these things? The disciples said to him, Yes. Then Yeshua said to them, Therefore, every scribe who has become a disciple of the kingdom of heaven is like a man who is the owner of the house, who draws out old and new things from treasure. Jesus rejected Nazareth. Then it came that Yeshua had finished these parables, and he departed from that place. Then Yeshua entered his own region and taught the people in their synagogue. Their results were astonished and said, Where does this man get the wisdom and these miracles from? Is this not the man that's a carpenter's son? Is his mother not called Mary? Are these not his brothers? James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Are these not his sisters with us? Where did he get all these things? They were offered by him, but Yeshua said to him, A prophet is without honor except for in his own country and his own family. He did not do miracles there because of their unbelief. I think that's a good stopping part here. We're at 50 minutes here. So I appreciate all those who stayed around for this long, and Listen to the word. May you have got some good information from it and feel better in your walk with God and want to seek Him out more. Thank you, Almighty God, for the blessings you give us here. Thank you for the people who watch these videos and learn your word and help them seek out your word and the righteousness you bring to them. Thank you for setting things straight with us on who is the Almighty and the priest, the one who's above the Sabbath days to give us, the days for rest, and why we must honor those as you gave those to us for rest. Thank you for all the blessings you give us and keep these people safe. Amen. Have a good day and God bless.